Human beings often find themselves in an invisible battle, where exhaustive effort seems insufficient to break through the barrier to ultimate victory. Many call this bad luck or destiny, but the truth lies in a much deeper and silent mechanism, a biological and spiritual programming that insists on keeping the individual in the safety of stagnation. Right now, you will discover how to identify the 3 physical signs that your mind is actively blocking your victory, so that this sabotage can be stopped immediately. However, the ultimate sign, the one the universe has reserved to mark the beginning of your new era, requires an inner preparation and clarity that will only be completed at the end of this journey. If you feel you are on the threshold of something great without being able to touch it, it is because you are still missing the final piece of the puzzle that we will reveal at the end of this teaching. I believe that chance does not exist, and the fact that you are listening to this now is the first indication that the map of your reality is being redrawn. Pay attention, because what will be revealed at the end is what separates those who only wish from those who actually win. Comment: my vision is clear. The world you perceive is not an objective territory, but a map drawn by your own consciousness. Each person walks through a unique landscape, even if their feet tread the same ground. Where one sees a wall, another sees a staircase. Where one smells fear, another smells the fragrance of opportunity. This perception is not random. It is the direct result of thousands of neural pathways that have been strengthened over the years, transforming your beliefs into prophecies that are repeatedly fulfilled. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This inner strength, this identity, is not a sentence. It is a choice, renewed at every moment, even unconsciously. You were not born shy, poor, or incapable. You learned to be this way. You learned to identify with these labels, to wear these masks, and to defend these limitations as if they were your own skin. The good news is that everything that has been learned can be unlearned. The door to your old prison is open. You just need to decide to stop calling your cell home and dare to walk out. The real change doesn't happen through monumental effort, but through subtle and profound recalibration. It's like adjusting the focus of a camera. A small turn can transform a blurry, distorted image into a sharp scene full of details that were previously invisible. The universe isn't hiding victory from you. It's simply responding with mathematical precision to the frequency you emit. Change the frequency, and the entire reality rearranges itself around you, as if it were just waiting for that command. Think of your life as a garden. If the soil is full of weeds and stones, which are your limiting beliefs, it's no use planting the rarest and most potent seeds. Nothing will flourish. The first job, the only job that matters, is to prepare the soil. Pull out what is useless, nurture what remains, and create an environment where abundance is the only possible consequence. Victory is not something you conquer out there, but something you allow to grow in here, at this very moment. The great revelation is this: you don't need anything more. You just need to be less than you have been until now. Less fear, less doubt, less loyalty to suffering. The process of manifesting a new reality is, in fact, a process of subtraction. It is a stripping away of everything that is not yours, of all the layers of conditioning that cover your true essence. The sign you await will not come from the sky. It will come from within, when the silence of your old identity gives way to the music of your new existence. For millennia, we have been taught to believe that we are born with a fixed essence, a destiny sealed by past experiences, or the pain we carry in our souls. Modern science and ancient wisdom finally converge to reveal that this belief is the greatest prison ever built for the human spirit. What you call personality or destiny is, in fact, a tangle of neural pathways sculpted by repetition, beliefs, and traumas. that have become your comfortable, yet limiting dwelling place. You are not your shyness, your lack of money, or your wounds. You are merely the temporary reflection of a program running on autopilot. This programming is not who you are. It's merely a habit of the mind, a familiar path the brain follows for sheer energy efficiency. It prefers the known path, even if that path leads to an abyss. Your current identity is like an old garment you've worn for so long that you've forgotten you can change it. It may have served to protect you in the past, but now it's too tight, torn, and restricts your movement. Continuing to wear this garment is not loyalty, it's self-imprisonment. Freedom begins the instant you recognize that the garment is not you. The idea of an immutable destiny is the perfect excuse for inertia. It comforts us with the false notion that there is nothing to be done, that things are as they are. But the truth is more radical and more empowering. Your identity is a daily choice. Every morning you decide, consciously or unconsciously, who you will be that day. You can choose to be the victim of circumstances or the architect of your reality. The absence of a conscious choice is, in itself, a choice for the old pattern. The universe does not respond to wishes. It responds to decisions. Think of your personality traits as muscles. If you spend years exercising only the worry muscle, it will become strong and dominant, while the confidence muscle atrophies from lack of use. You weren't born worried. You trained worry until it became second nature. Neuroplasticity shows us that you can, at any time, start training a new muscle. At first, it will be difficult and uncomfortable, but with consistent practice, the new pattern will become stronger than the old one. The past has no power over you unless you drag it into the present. Your memories are merely ghosts, echoes of events that no longer exist. What makes them real is your continued attention, your incessant rumination on what could have been. Letting go is not an act of forgetting, but an act of relinquishing power. It is looking at the ghost and saying, "I see you, but I will no longer feed you with my vital energy." Only then does the present open like a portal to a future that is not a repetition of the past. The great liberation happens when you understand that you don't need to fix your old self. You don't need to analyze every trauma, every mistake, every pain. Trying to fix the old self only gives it more energy. The path is not repair. It's replacement. It's the creation of a new self so powerful, so vibrant, and so aligned with your truth that the old one simply dissolves into the shadows, forgotten by the dazzling light of your new identity. You don't fight the darkness, you turn on the light. Therefore, the fundamental question is not who am I, but who do I choose to become from now on? This question shifts the power from the past to the present and transforms you from a passive spectator into an active creator. Destiny is not a straight line drawn for you, but an open field of infinite possibilities. And with every second, every thought, and every choice, you are charting your own course whether you realize it or not. The only difference is whether you hold the helm or let yourself be carried away by the current. You know, while I was talking about us being the architects of our own reality, I remembered something fundamental. Understanding that the map is not the territory is the first step, but having the blueprint in your hands to rebuild that map is what truly separates those who try from those who succeed. That is why I want to recommend something that goes far beyond a regular read. I put together the guide, The Thoth Code, The Architect. It works as a mental engineering manual for those who have decided they will no longer just watch the movie of life, but will take control of the projection room. In it, I detail the codes of mental alchemy that I use to ensure that the new identity is not just a desire, but a biological reality. If you feel that you have already crossed the threshold, and are ready for the practical tools of a true architect, I left the link to it in the first pinned comment. It is the support you need for this transition to be definitive. Imagine your mind as a tireless movie projector, and the world outside is just a blank screen waiting to receive the images you carry within. If the film reel is filled with scenes of fear, scarcity, and insecurity, no matter where you look, the screen will always reflect threats and closed doors. Two people can enter the same room, and while one sees an insurmountable abyss, the other sees a golden bridge to opportunity. The reality you experience is not an absolute fact, but a translation made by thousands of memories and patterns that decide what deserves your attention. This projector never stops. It operates 24 hours a day, even while you sleep, weaving the tapestry of your dreams and shaping the perception of your next awakening. The problem is that most of us never learned how to operate the machine. We let old film reels, inherited from our childhood, from past traumas or failures, continue to run indefinitely. And then we wonder why the same story of pain and frustration repeats itself in an endless cycle. You are not cursed. You are just watching a replay. Change doesn't begin by trying to paint the screen from the outside, fighting the projected image, yelling at the shadows, or trying to erase scenes you don't like is pointless. That's exhausting and futile. The only way to change the film is to enter the projection room, which is your own mind, and change the reel. It's an internal, silent, and surgical process. You need to become the conscious operator of your own perception, deliberately choosing which images, which beliefs, and which stories deserve to be projected onto the screen of your life. Your eyes are merely lenses. They capture light, but it's the brain that interprets that light and transforms it into a meaningful image. And this interpretation is entirely based on the files it already possesses. If your mental file about money is corrupted with the belief that money is dirty or that rich people are dishonest, every financial opportunity will be interpreted as a threat or something to be avoided. The projector is simply being faithful to its programming. To see the opportunity, you first need to install the abundance file. This mechanism explains why reality seems so solid and unquestionable. The brain hates vacuums and uncertainty. It fills in the gaps in perception with familiar information to create a coherent narrative, even if that narrative is limiting. It prefers the certainty of known pain to the uncertainty of unknown happiness. That's why stepping outside your comfort zone is so difficult. It's not a character flaw, it's a biological resistance. You are literally asking your brain to abandon a known map and venture into uncharted territory. True mastery over life is not about controlling the external world, but about mastering the inner projector. It's about learning the art of selecting your thoughts, cultivating elevated emotions, and visualizing the reality you desire with such clarity and feeling that the brain begins to accept it as truth. It doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By feeding the projector with scenes of your victory, you're creating new memories of the future. When you take control of the projection room, the outside world has no choice but to conform to the new image. The right people appear, doors open, money flows. It's not magic, it's physics. You change the signal you were emitting, and the universe, like a perfect mirror, simply reflects the new image. The battle was never against the world. The battle was always for control of the projector. And that's a war you're about to win. Many try to change their lives using brute force, repeating empty words and forcing attitudes that don't resonate with the hidden truth in their depths. This conscious battle against a subconscious enemy is a lost war from the very first second, because the deep mind will always overcome superficial intention. Exhausting effort without true identity change only creates frustration, returning you to the same starting point with even deeper scars. True alchemy doesn't require sweat and despair, but a surgical understanding of exactly where the threads of your reality are connected. Willpower is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can manage it for a while, with a lot of effort and concentration. But the moment you get distracted, the moment your energy wanes, the ball explodes to the surface with tremendous force. Your subconscious patterns are that beach ball. Fighting them directly is a waste of vital energy. The solution is not to force the ball down, but simply to deflate it. To deflate the emotional charge and the belief that empowers the pattern. Positive affirmations, when used in isolation, can even reinforce the problem. When you repeat, "I am rich," while your entire nervous system screams you are broke and in danger, you create a massive internal conflict. Your subconscious mind detects the incongruity and rejects the affirmation, further strengthening the original belief of scarcity as a defense mechanism. It's like yelling at a mirror to change the image. The mirror only reflects what is in front of it. To change the reflection, you need to change. The true work of transformation is not an act of addition, but of permission. It's not about forcing a new belief, but about removing the obstacles that prevent your innate truth from manifesting. Your essence is already abundant, creative, and powerful. What prevents it from shining are the layers of fear, shame, and doubt that you have accumulated throughout your life. Real change is a process of deconditioning, of letting go of the shackles, not of pulling the chains tighter. Willpower operates at the level of the conscious mind, which represents only a small fraction of your mental power. The subconscious, on the other hand, is the giant that controls your habits, your emotions, your heartbeat, and your perceived reality. Trying to dominate this giant with the small conscious mind is like a mouse trying to give orders to an elephant. The only way to influence the elephant is to speak its language, the language of feelings, symbols, and repetition in states of relaxation. Instead of fighting the current, learn to redirect it. The energy that fuels your negative patterns isn't inherently bad. It's simply vital energy that has been misdirected. The same energy that fuels your anxiety can be transmuted to fuel your courage. The same force that holds you back in procrastination can be channeled into focused and inspired action. The secret isn't to destroy the energy, but to purify it and redirect it toward a higher purpose. Lasting change never feels like a battle. It feels like relief, a surrender, a return home. When you finally align your conscious mind with your subconscious, the effort disappears. The right actions become natural. Abundance flows without resistance. You stop fighting yourself and start dancing with life. Forget willpower. What you need is alignment, and it is this alignment that will open the doors to your new reality. For the new reality to manifest and victory to finally arrive, there is an unavoidable price that few are willing to pay: the sacrifice of the old identity. It's not enough to desire abundance if you continue to wear the old clothes of scarcity and present yourself to the universe with the same old name. Transformation requires you to stop justifying yourself with labels from the past, abandoning the excuses that keep you safe in mediocrity. It takes courage to declare the end of the person you were, making space in the void so that an unrecognizable and powerful version can be born. This sacrifice is not about loss, but about liberation. It is the act of releasing the chains you mistook for safety bracelets. Every time you say, "I'm just like this," or "I've always been unlucky," you are reinforcing the bars of your own prison. The death of the old self begins with the refusal to continue telling the same sad story. It is an energetic divorce from your old narrative of suffering. You need to become a traitor to your misery in order to be loyal to your greatness. The universe needs clarity. It cannot deliver a future of abundance to someone who is still energetically married to scarcity. You need to create a vacuum, an empty space, so that the new can enter. This means ceasing to frequent the same places, to have the same conversations, to engage in the same habits that kept your old identity alive. It is a necessary mourning. You are saying goodbye to a part of yourself, and that can be frightening. But what awaits on the other side is rebirth. Imagine a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. Inside the cocoon, it doesn't become an improved caterpillar or a caterpillar with wings. It completely disintegrates. It becomes a primordial soup of cells before reorganizing itself into a totally new creature. Radical transformation requires the complete dissolution of the old. You need to be willing to enter your own cocoon, to face the unknown, and to trust that on the other side of the chaos, a new form is waiting to emerge. Identity is a choice. And the most powerful choice you can make is to decide, at this very moment, who you are no longer. I am no longer the person who accepts less than I deserve. I am no longer the person who is afraid to fail. I am no longer the person who waits for others' permission. Each of these statements is a nail in the coffin of your old identity. It is an act of spiritual sovereignty that sends a shockwave through the universe, signaling that you are ready for the next phase. Your friends and family may not understand. They may try to pull you back into the person they knew, because your change confronts them with their own inertia. They may call you strange, different, or selfish. This is the ultimate test. Will you be loyal to their perception of you, or to the vision you have for yourself? The approval you seek isn't out there. The only permission you need is your own. Letting the old self die is the ultimate act of faith. It's betting everything on a version of yourself you can't yet see, but can already feel pulsing in the depths of your soul. It's a leap into the abyss, trusting that you won't fall, but rather discover that you have wings. The space you create by abandoning who you were is the sacred ground where your victory can finally take root and flourish. What ancient sages called the renewal of the spirit, modern science has mapped and named neuroplasticity, the miraculous ability to rewrite one's own biology. Every time you choose a new thought, a tiny electrical spark travels through the darkness of your brain, creating a fragile trail that didn't exist before. The secret lies not in the intensity of the first step, but in the sacred repetition that transforms this invisible trail into a highway of steel and light. You are the supreme architect of your mind, and each conscious decision is a brick laid in the construction of your new inner empire. The principle is simple and profound. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you repeat a thought of scarcity, you strengthen the neural highway of poverty. Every time you indulge in worry, you further pave the way for anxiety. But the reverse is also true. By deliberately introducing a thought of abundance, even if it seems false at first, you are beginning to build a new road. At first, it's just a dirt road, but repetition is the machine that will transform it into a superhighway. This process is biological, not metaphysical. When you focus on a new belief, your brain releases chemicals that act as fertilizers for new synaptic connections. At the same time, old neural pathways that are no longer being used begin to weaken. It's like neurological pruning. You are literally reshaping the physical structure of your brain, neuron by neuron, with the power of your focused attention. Change is not an abstract idea, it's a physical reconfiguration. The beauty of neuroplasticity is that it works for everyone, regardless of age or past. Your brain isn't a block of concrete that solidified in childhood. It's more like clay, always malleable, always ready to be molded by the sculptor's hand, which is your consciousness. The idea that you can't teach an old dog new tricks is a myth that has been scientifically debunked. Your potential for change is infinite and available to you right now. Repetition is key, but emotion is the accelerator. A thought repeated, with a heightened feeling, such as gratitude, joy, or love, creates much stronger and faster neural connections than a neutral thought. Emotion is the energy that welds the connection. That's why visualization isn't just about seeing the image, but about feeling its reality in every cell of your body. Feeling gratitude for victory even before it physically manifests is what commands the brain to build the neural bridge to it. You don't need to believe 100% at the beginning. You just need to be willing to suspend your disbelief for a few minutes every day. Consistent practice will build the neurological evidence which, in turn, will generate genuine belief. Faith is not the starting point, it's the result. You build faith through disciplined action. Start small. Choose a new thought, a new belief, and repeat it like a sacred mantra, feeling it as if it were already true. This knowledge transforms you from a victim of your biology into a master of it. You are no longer at the mercy of your automatic patterns. You have received the instruction manual for your own brain. Change has ceased to be a vague hope and has become an applicable science. The power to create a new mind, a new body, and a new reality is literally inside your head, waiting to be activated by your intention and discipline. From now on, every time a voice of defeat whispers in your mind, you will no longer accept that lie as absolute truth. Take a deep breath, capture that negative thought in the air before it contaminates your body, and ask yourself a single, relentless question. Is this real, or is it just an echo of my frightened past? Immediately, replace that painful phrase with an affirmation of power, declaring your victory even if the physical world doesn't yet reflect it. This simple interception is the fatal blow against the patterns that have kept your greatness imprisoned for so long. This practice is called cognitive restructuring, or reframing. It's the act of becoming the gatekeeper of your mind. You stop allowing intrusive and toxic thoughts to enter and set up camp as if they own the place. Instead, you challenge them at the entrance. You question their validity, expose their falsity, and replace them with a higher truth. It's not about suppressing the thought, but about interrogating it until it loses its power over you. Negative thoughts are like a spark. If you ignore them, they can easily start a wildfire of anxiety and despair. But if you step on them the moment they arise, they are extinguished without causing damage. The moment of intervention is that crucial instant between the thought arising and your emotional reaction to it. By creating this space of awareness, you interrupt the automatic program. You cease to be the effect and become the cause. For the new affirmation to work, it needs to be credible to your nervous system. If I am a failure is the thought, replacing it with I am a resounding success can create resistance. Start with a bridge. Something like, I am in the process of becoming a success, or every day I learn more and get closer to my victory. This gentler affirmation bypasses the subconscious resistance and begins to build the new neural pathway without creating internal conflict. This is not an intellectual exercise, it's a visceral practice. When you challenge negative thinking, feel the change in your body. Feel how your posture straightens, how your breathing deepens, how the tension in your shoulders dissolves. Anchor the new belief in your physical body. The body is the subconscious mind. By teaching it to feel the truth of your new affirmation, you are recording the new program directly into your biological hardware. Make it a game. Every time you catch a negative thought and transform it, you earn a point. You are accumulating internal victories that will inevitably translate into external victories. At first, you may only catch 1 in 10 thoughts. With practice, you will catch 5, then 8, until it becomes an automatic reflex. You will be so attuned to the frequency of your victory that any thought that doesn't match it will sound like a blaring alarm. The ultimate tool to accelerate this process is meditation and visualization. In a state of deep relaxation, the doors of the subconscious open. It is in this state that you can plant the seeds of your new identity directly in the fertile soil of your deep mind. By visualizing yourself acting, feeling, and living from your new identity, you are rehearsing your victory. And for your brain, rehearsing is the same as living. You are building the future in the present, ensuring that when the moment arrives, victory will not be a surprise but a familiar return. There is a sacred space where time stops and the laws of the physical world lose their power, and it is precisely there that the true miracle of change happens. When you enter meditation, the protective barriers of the conscious mind fall asleep, leaving the gates of your unconscious wide open to receive new seeds. In this state of profound silence, every thought of abundance, peace, and power encounters no resistance, infiltrating the deepest roots of your being. The universe responds to the frequency you emit when you are in pure communion with the invisible, transforming intention into matter. This silence is not the absence of sound, but the absence of resistance. It is a state of pure receptivity, where you stop fighting and begin to allow. Brain waves slow down, leaving the state of alert and survival to enter a field of pure potentiality. It is in this field that old programming loses its power and new programming can be installed effortlessly. Meditation is not an escape from reality, but a deep dive into the engine room that creates it, a place where you can rewrite the source code of your existence. The conscious mind is the guardian of the castle, ever vigilant and skeptical. But in meditation, the guardian takes a break. It's your opportunity to enter the throne room, your subconscious, and give new orders directly to the king. Every visualization, every feeling of gratitude, every whispered affirmation in this sacred state is a royal decree that the universe has no choice but to obey. You are not asking. You are commanding from a place of absolute and silent power. Ancient traditions knew this. They called this state samadhi, fertile emptiness, communion with the divine. Modern science has simply given it a new name, confirming that in deep meditative states, the brain becomes highly suggestible and capable of accelerated reorganization. You are accessing your own internal reprogramming technology, a tool that has always been available but has been forgotten amidst the noise of the modern world. Silence is the gateway to your omnipotence. It's not about emptying the mind, which is almost impossible, but about observing it without identifying with the flow of thoughts. By becoming the silent observer, you remove your power from mental dramas and anchor it in the stillness of your being. It is from this stillness that your true identity, your essence of pure consciousness, can emerge. And it is this essence that has the power to dissolve old realities and manifest new ones with a speed that the logical mind would consider impossible. The daily practice of silence is like tuning an instrument. At first, it may seem challenging, and the sounds may be dissonant. But with consistency, you begin to find the perfect note, the exact vibration of your new reality. Your nervous system calms down, your intuition sharpens, and your ability to manifest is amplified exponentially. You become a clear channel for abundance to flow, instead of a dam of resistance and fear. Therefore, do not underestimate the power of doing nothing. In silence, you are doing the most important work of all. You are aligning yourself with the creative force of the universe, allowing it to flow through you and reshape your life from the inside out. Silence is not empty. It is pregnant with all your future potential, waiting only for your command to give birth to your victory. Your brain has a wonderful flaw that you can use to your advantage. It can't distinguish between what happens in the physical world and what is intensely experienced in the imagination. When you close your eyes and visualize yourself experiencing victory, feeling the texture of success and breathing the air of freedom, your body reacts as if the future were already the present. The repetition of this vision creates new electrical connections, building the mental architecture necessary to support the greatness that is to come. You are not just dreaming, you are literally building the bridge that will take you to the reality that the universe has already reserved for you. This process is a dress rehearsal for your new life. Elite athletes do this all the time, visualizing the perfect performance thousands of times before competition. They are not only motivating themselves, they are programming their muscles and nervous system for success. Similarly, when you rehearse your victory, you are conditioning your mind and body to recognize and act according to the new reality when it presents itself. You are eliminating the possibility of self-sabotage due to feeling unworthy. The key to effective visualization lies not in the details of the image, but in the intensity of the feeling. You need to feel the gratitude, the joy, the relief, and the power of your victory, as if it were happening right now. This heightened emotion is the electromagnetic signature you send to the quantum field. It's the language the universe understands. An image without emotion is a letter without a stamp. It will never reach its destination. Feel the victory in every cell, and the universe will move mountains to match that feeling. By practicing the new reality, you are creating memories of a future that hasn't happened yet. Your brain begins to catalog these experiences as real, making your new identity more familiar and secure than the old one. This makes the transition much smoother. When the real opportunity arises, you won't hesitate, because your brain will recognize it as familiar territory. You will act with the confidence of someone who has been there before, because in your mind, you have been. Don't wait to feel good to visualize. Visualize to feel good. Use visualization as a tool to generate the emotional state of your victory, regardless of external circumstances. This is the true power. You stop being a leaf in the wind, reacting to what happens, and become the wind itself, creating the emotional climate that defines your reality. You become the cause, and the world becomes the effect. The daily repetition of this exercise is crucial. It is consistency that transforms a fragile neural pathway into a superhighway. Dedicate some time each day to close your eyes and enter the cinema of your mind. Watch the film of your ideal life, not as a spectator, but as the protagonist. Feel each scene, hear each sound, immerse yourself completely in the experience. You are training for the most important role of your life, the role of yourself in your highest version. When you open your eyes after a powerful visualization, you carry that energy with you. You walk differently, talk differently, make different decisions. You begin to operate from your future identity, not your past identity. And it is this change in vibration, this embodiment of your future self in the present, that collapses time and attracts your victory to the now in a way that defies all logic. True transformation is not an isolated event, but the convergence of three precise movements that must act in perfect harmony. First, the absolute renunciation of the old identity. Second, the interception and restructuring of every dark thought. And third, deep immersion through meditation and visualization. When these three pillars align, your mind ceases to be a battlefield and becomes an irresistible magnet for prosperity and peace. This trinity of daily actions is the secret code that the great masters used to bend reality to their own will. Think of it like a lock with three keys. Turning only one or two won't open the door. You need the exact combination. Relinquishing the old identity creates the empty space, the vacuum necessary for the new to emerge. Restructuring negative thoughts acts as a guardian, preventing old weed seeds from being replanted in the newly prepared soil. And meditation with visualization is the act of planting new seeds of greatness directly in the fertile soil of your subconscious. The synergy between these three practices is what creates quantum acceleration. One amplifies the other. By renouncing your old self, it becomes easier to intercept thoughts that no longer belong to you. By intercepting thoughts, your mind becomes clearer and quieter, making meditation deeper and more effective. And deep meditation strengthens your connection with your new identity, making the renunciation of the old self a natural and effortless act. They form a virtuous cycle of ascension. Many fail because they focus on only one of these areas. Some try to think only positively, but without relinquishing their victim mentality. Their words are empty. Others meditate for hours, but upon returning to daily life, allow negative thoughts to run rampant, sabotaging all their inner work. Mastery lies in integration. It is applying the discipline of a warrior, the wisdom of a monk, and the vision of an artist into a single, cohesive movement of transformation. This trinity of power is your daily ritual of recalibration. Renunciation is your morning commitment. Interception is your constant vigilance throughout the day. Meditation is your nightly communion. By structuring your day around these three practices, you leave no room for the old programming to reassert itself. You're actively building and reinforcing your new reality every hour, every minute, every breath. It's not about perfection, but about consistency. There will be days when you forget to intercept a thought. There will be days when your meditation is restless. It doesn't matter. What matters is returning to the practice the next day. Discipline isn't about never falling, but about always getting back up. Every time you return to the practice, you are sending a powerful message to the universe that you are serious about your transformation. When these three forces merge into a single stream of intention, you become unstoppable. Your energy becomes so coherent, your vibration so high, that the old reality simply can no longer sustain itself in your presence. It dissolves like mist in the sun. You no longer need to fight for your victory. You become victory itself, and the outer world bows in recognition of this undeniable truth. Between the decision to change and the physical manifestation of victory, there is a period of silence where your faith will be tested to the point of exhaustion. The outside world will try to convince you that nothing has changed, presenting the same old challenges as ghosts trying to frighten your new self. This is the critical moment when most give up, retreating to the comfort of familiar pain, unable to withstand the pressure of the unknown. The one who remains unwavering, anchored in the invisible certainty of their new identity, is the only one who crosses the abyss and reaches the promised land. This period is the universe's ultimate test. It's a test of consistency. The universe is asking, do you truly believe what you're saying? Will you maintain your new vibration even when the 3D mirror still reflects the old image? Your answer isn't given in words, but in your ability to sustain the feeling of your victory, even in the absence of evidence. It's the blind faith that sees in the dark, the certainty that flourishes in the soil of uncertainty. The desert is an illusion, a mirage projected by the last gasps of your old programming. The old identity, feeling threatened with extinction, will use all its weapons to pull you back. It will amplify your doubts, bring to the surface your deepest fears, and make circumstances seem worse than ever. Its goal is to make you say, I knew it. Nothing works for me. The moment you give in, the old programming wins, and the cycle repeats. The key to crossing the desert is divine indifference. It is to look at the apparent chaos of the outside world and shrug it off, knowing that it is merely the echo of a past that no longer exists. It is to keep your focus and energy firmly anchored in the inner reality you are building. You become a serene observer of the drama without being drawn into it. Your peace becomes your weapon, and your certainty, your shield. During this journey, celebrate the small inner victories. Celebrate every negative thought you intercepted. Celebrate every time you chose faith over fear. Celebrate every deep meditation. These inner victories are the fuel that will keep you moving. They are proof that change is happening in the only place that matters, within you. The outside world is merely a delayed reflection of this transformation. Remember that time is a construct of the human mind. In the quantum realm, where your new reality already exists, there is no past or future. The delay you perceive between your practice and manifestation is merely a function of your own resistance and your need to see to believe. The more you can live in the feeling of your victory, the faster you will collapse this time gap and bring your future into the present. He who perseveres in the desert does not reach the promised land. He discovers that the promised land was always beneath his feet. He understands that victory was not a destination, but a state of being that he learned to cultivate amidst chaos. The desert was not an obstacle, it was the training ground. It was the fire that transformed his faith into unwavering knowledge. And with that knowledge, he becomes the master of all worlds. Neuroplasticity is the art of sculpting oneself through willpower, where each choice aligned with one's new identity is a chiseling blow on rough stone. When you act as the victorious person you've chosen to be, even in the face of adversity, you strengthen new neural connections and condemn old shackles to starvation. It's a continuous process of refinement, where the old armor of limitations shatters to reveal the pure gold that has always resided at your core. The universe observes every silent movement, awaiting the moment when your inner vibration becomes strong enough to materialize the impossible. Every action you take is a vote. When you choose to cower in fear, you vote for your old identity. When you choose to stand up and speak your truth, even with a trembling voice, you vote for your new identity. The reality that manifests is simply the result of the election that takes place within you at every moment. Neuroplasticity is the process by which the brain registers these votes and reconfigures its structure to support the winning candidate. This reconstruction process requires you to step out of your mind and into your body. Change isn't just an intellectual exercise. You need to embody your new identity. How would the victorious person you are now sit? How would they walk? How would they talk? Start adopting the physiology of your future self. Your body will send signals to your brain that the change is real, accelerating the formation of new neural pathways. Act as if you were to become. Old neural pathways don't disappear overnight. They're like forest trails that have fallen into disuse. Over time, vegetation grows over them, and they become impassable. Similarly, every time you refuse to follow an old pattern of thought or behavior, you're allowing your brain's natural instincts to heal you. You're drawing your energy away from that pathway, and what is not nourished eventually dies. The beauty of this work is that it becomes easier with time. In the beginning, choosing the new path requires conscious effort and discipline. It's like clearing a new trail in the woods with a machete. But with each step, the path becomes clearer and easier to follow. Eventually, the new road becomes the main route, the default path of your brain. Victory ceases to be a choice and becomes your natural state of being. Don't wait for a big cataclysmic change. Rebuilding happens in thousands of small daily choices. The choice to meditate instead of picking up your phone. The choice to challenge a doubting thought instead of drowning in it. The choice to act with courage instead of being paralyzed by fear. It is these small chisel strokes, repeated day after day, that sculpt the masterpiece that is your new self. You are the architect and builder of your own brain. This is the most extraordinary power a human being can possess. You are not limited by your genetics or your past. You have the innate ability to reinvent yourself from the cellular level. Every thought, every choice, every action is an opportunity to reinforce the structure of your new inner temple, a temple strong enough to house the divinity of your own victory. The victory that seemed so distant begins to manifest itself in small signs, coincidences, and opportunities that magically appear on your daily path. This is not the work of chance, but the mathematical result of a mind that has stopped fighting against itself and has begun to flow in harmony with the invisible laws. The doors that were once locked now open on their own, because your new identity carries the master key that unlocks the treasures of the universe. You have ceased to be a frightened passenger and have taken command, understanding that the external world is merely a submissive echo of your inner transformation. These signs are the language of the universe, confirming that you are on the right path. An unexpected phone call, a song with meaningful lyrics, finding a feather in your path. They are winks from the divine, encouraging you to continue. Most people ignore these signs, dismissing them as mere coincidences. But the initiated know that there are no coincidences. There is only synchronicity, the perfect dance between your inner vibration and external manifestation. Alignment is a state of flow. It's when your actions become effortless, your decisions are clear, and your energy seems inexhaustible. You stop pushing the river and simply allow it to carry you. In this state, you are no longer operating from your limited personal strength, but are connected to a universal intelligence that orchestrates events in your favor. You become a co-creator with the universe, and work becomes play. When inner forces align, outer forces have no choice but to follow suit. People who no longer resonate with your new frequency naturally drift away without drama or conflict. And people who are a vibrational match for your new identity are drawn into your orbit as if by a magnet. Your life becomes a perfect reflection of your inner state. Inner peace manifests as outer peace. Inner abundance manifests as outer abundance. This alignment creates a field of coherence around you. People feel good in your presence. Opportunities seem to find you without you having to look for them. This happens because you are emitting a clear and powerful electromagnetic signal of wholeness and sufficiency. You are no longer emitting the frequency of need or lack. You have become a sun, and the world begins to revolve around your light. Gratitude is the ultimate catalyst for alignment. By giving thanks for every sign, for every synchronicity, for every small victory, you are saying to the universe, "Yes, I am seeing. Yes, I am receiving. Please send me more." Gratitude opens the channels for more blessings to flow your way. It transforms your perception of scarcity into abundance and seals your new reality with a seal of divine appreciation. You will know you have achieved alignment when the need to control disappears. You trust the process. You trust yourself. You trust the universe. You understand that everything is unfolding in perfect divine order, even if your logical mind cannot grasp the complete picture. You surrender to the flow, and in that surrender, you find the ultimate power to create worlds. The signs are already scattered around you, and the perfect synchronicity that brought you to this message is the final proof that your wait is over. The feeling that the ground is trembling beneath your feet is not the harbinger of a fall, but the impact of the old reality crumbling to make way for your empire. You were forged in the fire of your own doubts, only so that you could emerge unbreakable, ready to receive everything that was denied you. Victory is already etched in the stars. And now all that remains is for you to walk towards it with the certainty of a king returning to his throne. This moment is no accident. It was divinely appointed, scheduled the moment you made the decision to change. All your practices, all your inner struggles, all your perseverance have led you to this turning point. You are on the threshold of a new timeline, a point of no return, where the past loses all its power and the future opens up as a field of infinite possibilities. What you are feeling is the wind of change, the harbinger of your imminent harvest. The universe doesn't whisper, it roars when the time has come. The signs become more frequent, more obvious, almost impossible to ignore. You see the same numbers repeatedly. You hear the same phrases in different places. You dream of your victory. All this is the universe knocking on your door saying, "I'm here. Are you ready to open it?" Doubt is the only bolt that can still keep the door closed. Your only task now is to receive. Stop questioning. Stop analyzing. Stop wondering if you are worthy. You have already done the work. You have already paid the price. The harvest is not something you need to fight for. It is something you need to allow to happen. Open your arms, open your heart, and prepare for the avalanche of blessings that has been withheld for so long, waiting only for your sign of permission. The intensity you feel now is the energy of your new reality approaching. It may seem like anxiety or nervousness, but it's just your nervous system acclimating to a much higher frequency. Take a deep breath. Anchor yourself in your body. Feel the solidity of the earth beneath your feet. You are safe. You are ready. You are built for this moment. You are not about to break. You are about to break through to a new level of existence. A feeling of inevitability will begin to take hold of you. A deep calm, a silent certainty that everything is already resolved. The inner struggle ceases. The need to force things disappears. You enter a state of joyful trust and expectation, like a child on Christmas morning. You know the presents are under the tree, even before you see them. This certainty is the final state of manifestation. Don't look back. The old life, the old stories, the old identities are turning to dust. Any attention you give them now will only delay your arrival. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon of your new dawn. Victory is no longer in the future. It's here, breathing down your neck, waiting for you to turn around and claim it as your birthright. The sign you've been waiting for won't come from the heavens in the form of thunder. It's already pulsing within you at this very moment, demanding that you embrace your power. Victory is inevitable for those who master their own minds, who rewrite their own history, and who accept nothing less than the grandeur promised to them. Leave a comment saying, "I embrace my new identity to seal this commitment with the universe and mark the day everything changed." Subscribe and join this transformative energy, because your journey towards the extraordinary is only just beginning. This is not the end of a journey, but the true beginning. Everything you've learned so far has been the tools. Now is the time to use them to build your legacy. Awakening is not a passive state of enlightenment, but a call to conscious action. It is the understanding that you are 100% responsible for the reality you experience and that you possess 100% of the power to change it. The age of the victim is over. The age of the creator has begun. The power you have unlocked is not just for you. As you rise, you lift everyone around you. Your light becomes a beacon for others who are still lost in the darkness. Your courage inspires courage. Your abundance proves that abundance is possible. Your victory is not just yours. It is a victory for the collective consciousness, a testament to the limitless potential that resides in every human being. The journey never ends. There will always be new levels to reach, new identities to assume, new realities to create. Life is an infinite process of expansion and evolution. What you have mastered today is the foundation for tomorrow's challenge. Embrace the journey. Fall in love with the process of becoming. Joy is not in the final destination, but in the eternal dance of creation. Embracing your new identity is an act of sovereignty. It's declaring to the universe that you are no longer a pawn in someone else's game, but the king and queen of your own kingdom. It's taking possession of your power, your voice, your destiny. No one can do this for you. It's a choice only you can make, a threshold only you can cross. Community is your strength. By connecting with others on this same journey, you amplify your own energy and accelerate your progress. Share your victories. Share your challenges. Remind each other of the truth when doubt tries to creep in. Together, you form a vortex of transformation so powerful that it can alter the course of history. Therefore, don't hesitate. The time is now. The power is yours. Victory is guaranteed. Declare your intention. Seal your commitment. And take the first step into your new life with the unwavering certainty that the entire universe is conspiring to ensure your success. The game has changed. And now, you dictate the rules. If you've made it this far, it's because the signal has already been received. You are no longer the same person who started this video. To seal this transformation and declare to the universe that you are ready, leave a comment saying, "I see my victory." If this video touched your soul, I have an invitation that goes beyond knowledge. For our mission to stay alive and reach more minds, we need to move forward together. Today, the most powerful way to support this channel is through an exchange. By purchasing the ebooks, you receive the keys to mental alchemy and the laws of consciousness, and we receive the support we need to keep going. It is not just a purchase, it is your seal of commitment to the awakening we promote here. Without this support, our journey becomes limited. The link is pinned in the first comment. Shall we keep this frequency active?